so that you are no longer just forever going to hunt for the next big thing, next milestone in life. I really do not think life is made up of milestones. Life ought to be made up of the steps that we take. Hi guys, welcome back to Slow Podcast. Slow because we're focusing on that which takes time to grow. My name is Kevin, this is my wife.
Esther here.
We're
back.
I hope you miss us. We're back because we have been doing a lot of work behind the scene. We have been rebranding ourselves.
I think the last
podcast, yes.
we recorded was December last year, 2024.
Yeah.
And it has been 5 months.
Yeah.
A lot has happened.
Yeah, I hope you still follow us, please. Yeah.
We didn't give up on Slow. We took our time to rebrand, get refreshed.
Rework some of the content that we want to bring it up to everybody.
Yeah. So what has been happening for you the last 5 months?
I think I have been busy in different ways. I'm very happy.
You're always happy. I don't really see you
unhappy.
Unhappy?
There was a period I wasn't happy, but yeah, I've been busy coaching some of my students. Art took off quite a bit, so quite a lot of work. And yeah, apart from that, I'm also a pastor, so church side is also doing good. I am excited coaching the team. Yeah.
Is marriage doing good?
I would reserve that answer for you. Are you?
I thought you
happy?
would say can be better.
No. I would think, if you ask me, I would think it's good.
Of course it's good.
Of course it's good. Yeah.
Well, a lot has happened and our kids are growing up. We are also in the midst of preparing our teenager.
Growing up is not by choice, man. They just grow up.
Yeah, and our oldest boy is heading for university this year and we were busy with application.
Thank God he got into a very good uni.
Yep.
He's going to LSE in London.
Yep.
So, are you ready?
I am.
I'm not. I think I'm going to cry.
I think I am ready, but let's see in September.
Yeah, we'll spend some time with him, talk to him. I think we have done enough in the last 18 years to prepare him for a day like this. So, yeah, we'll see. Time is the test. So, yeah.
A lot has happened between us. I mean, we had so many different conversations.
Yes.
The reason why we started Slow Podcast was to invite people into our world, into our marriage, into our conversations on the things we talk about. But lately, a lot of our conversations were not so much about marriage or relationships. And I went through this whole transition of rethinking about work. For me, I'm a marriage coach, relationship coach. So the last 5 years, I have been coaching, speaking, talking to individuals or couples. I just got to a point last December where I felt kind of stuck. Right? I was talking to you about it. It's not that I don't enjoy my work, but I felt something was missing. So it took me a couple of months to figure out what it was. So I pulled back a little bit from coaching, talking to different people. I learned new skills, read new articles, learned new stuff. But after 5 months, I finally got to a place where I think I'm clear. I'm more clear with the type of people I would really love to work with.
Nice.
I think what was missing in the work that I did was that I was losing the joy, because a lot of times when I face couples, they come with their struggles, they talk about problems, they talk about their personal problems. Most of the time, it ended up being a personal development coaching, right?
Yeah.
So that's when I realized if a person is not growing, if a person is not pursuing excellence, forward thinking, future, they can get really stuck in their day-to-day.
Yep.
right? When they get stuck in their day-to-day, it affects their life, their marriage, their parenting, their work, and everything else. So that is when I ventured into high performance coaching. I know you have been coaching business owners
Yep.
at a high performing level. You're helping them achieve more, do more. But it wasn't something that I thought about until recently, right? And we had that chat about it. So when we rebranded this podcast show, I was talking to you about, why don't we teach people what we go through, right? I would see both of us as high performing because we're juggling so many things.
Yeah.
High performing doesn't mean it's just career success. Basically, you are doing a lot of things, achieving a lot of things. You are pursuing excellence, success. It could be wealth, it could be love, it could be family, managing all these things and still able to show up your best self. That is what high performance is all about.
Yep.
And I believe that is us. That defines who we are. So I wanted this next season of podcast recordings to talk about how we do it.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And the people we've coached, how they did it. Right? And I've learned so much from just coaching some of those people in how they manage their stress.
No, I think for you, it's just a natural progression. Marriage or relationship coaching, it's a situational kind of a problem that they're facing. So basically, it's a step one. They need the recovery, they need the healing, they need to have the tools to get unstuck at where they were, right? Before they met you. So after they met you, if they do not have a step two, which is having to be able to do things to achieve in life, whether, like you say, emotional, physical, spiritual, mental, they will then circulate in the rut. Then they will always go back to that relationship problem that they were facing or marriage issue. So I wouldn't think you were stuck. Basically, you were just trying to find that step two for them. Now, I am not exactly good in step one, but I am very focused on step two, on things that they have to do from now onwards. Because once they're healed, when a cell is growing, it's healthy. The cell got to multiply, got to work. But if the cell doesn't, then it will start eating up itself. And I think where you were, it was a very important step one for you. Now you're stepping into step two, where you're coaching high performance individual. It's exciting because now they have goals that they have to achieve or things that they want to get to, or a state of being, of becoming, that they are really be able to redefine themselves and get there. So I think it's just nice and good progression for you.
I feel more confident that I could help them because of what I went through.
Yep.
Right. It wasn't that work sucked for me.
No.
I just somehow lost that joy and that peace along the way. And if I don't do something about it, which I think most people just end up choosing to stay stuck, I would be really unhappy today, right? Because I was...
But you have to recognize, right? Unhappy doesn't mean uncomfortable.
Okay.
To a lot of people, they may not be happy, but it's comfortable. So that's why the reluctance
They're
to act.
comfortably being unhappy. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because it's a comfort. It's
a reality they've accepted. Yep, this is my life.
Yeah, comfort, it's illusion that things are okay. We value, it's comfortable now, but it doesn't mean they're happy. So yeah, I think that's crucial. That's critical for anybody to rethink.
I think I was sitting in that unhappiness for a long time until I was so sick of being in that space. Then it got uncomfortable just thinking that I'm unhappy. Right? I was getting overwhelmed.
Yep.
I was starting to drag myself into sessions.
Yep.
I was telling you about it, right? And after sessions, I would be so drained, and I was questioning myself, hey, what's really going on for me? And going through the last couple of months, it really gave me that confidence to help high achievers.
Yeah.
Because I know if I'm going through that, I am sure a lot of the high performing couples out there, spouses, busy parents,
Yeah.
they are all going through similar things.
Yep.
Probably they find it hard to vocalize it, articulate it. So I think this is a good topic to talk about.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
I agree.
So there are a few key elements I think it's really important for us to keep performing at our peak and showing up in our best self. Many people think as long as I achieve that success, I have my wealth, I have a lot of income, life is good, everything else will be good. But a lot of high achievers actually struggle with their personal life, right? Maybe through addiction or through poor stress management, poor relationships, poor family life, or whatever it is. So our conversation that we're gonna have, let's talk about some of the important elements of being a high achiever, achieving their success and happiness at the same time.
Okay.
I would think the first crucial element, like a backbone, is inner peace.
Inner peace. Okay.
Would you agree?
Yeah, yep. Of
Right?
course.
Because peace is something that when it's broken, it's hard for someone to find it back. Right? And we could be searching for peace in all different areas.
Peace is very underrated.
What do you mean?
Because what do I mean? It is not the first thing that people think about.
No, because people think about security, money,
Happiness.
happiness.
What makes them happy?
Yep.
What excites them, like a dopamine like that. And peace is a value. Peace is what you truly appreciate in life. So if I think that success, wealth, and having a lot of money is the ultimate point in life, then I will go do everything I can to get there at the expense. Towards the end, it will be peace. And that is why people struggle with that in the later stages of their life, because now they realize, I worked so hard, I've ignored my wife, we're divorced now. I contemplate making peace with her. I contemplate making peace with myself, or with the people I've hurt, people that I've neglected. So when peace is not the value in our decision making, in the things that we do, we will realize that peace will begin to deteriorate so much to the point that our conscience is no longer there for peace. But then we bury the peace because of the success. Then when we finally have everything, we realize, how come I never had this peace on the inside of me? And that's why the value of peace ought to be there for every high performance individual to be able to define. Now, a lot of people cannot define this, don't even know what
it is. The hardest to define.
So it's very difficult. You know why? Because peace as a value is a process. That you want to have peace in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. If you live that long, you want that. But success is not a process. Success is a point. Right? You reach that point, then that's
it's
it.
no longer enough.
It's not enough.
Yeah.
So you have to go to the next point. So if you do not have peace as a process that guides you to the point of success, it's going to be miserable because, let's not make it very complicated. Like when we were younger, a G-Shock is the dream watch. We start working, a Tag Heuer is a dream watch. And, when you reach a certain level in your life, Rolex is a dream watch. But it doesn't end there. To have the peace and say, my value is in appreciating who I am becoming. Then it will guide you so that you are no longer just forever going to hunt for the next big thing, next milestone in life. I really do not think life is made up of milestones. Life ought to be made up of the steps that we take.
The hustle culture that started to happen after pandemic, it glorifies performance.
Yeah.
Right? So many people started businesses, they changed jobs, they moved to different countries, different things that each individual went through. I think I agree with you that sometimes when we define peace in the wrong way, we end up thinking we're actually getting peace, building peace in our life, but we're not. Like I thought building a healthy, sustainable coaching business was the peace that I needed because I came from a place where I was searching for who I am, right? So I ventured into starting my own business at 40 years old, learning how to do...
It's okay, Dior didn't start until 41. So.
Yes, so that's a good encouragement. Learning marketing for the first time, doing all these things, I was in that hustle, right? But in the beginning, I felt like I was performing, so that gave me peace because I was building something for myself.
And you liked the results?
Yeah, I love the results that I got out of it. I was in control. But as time went by, nothing changed, right? The business kept growing. I met a lot more couples. People started to know who I am. But I didn't feel peaceful, right? It was this lack of inner peace that pushed me at the end of last year to really pull back and rethink, what do I really want to do? And I found myself in that, after 5 years, feeling lost again, right? It was uncomfortable. So that was when I had to redefine what inner peace is for me. What peace is. It's really not performance. I thought it was performance. But peace was, when I found it, it was having that clarity of the type of people whom I really want to help. And that is the essence of who I am. So I had to dig deep. I had to reevaluate my own life. Like, who am I? I am essentially a high achiever. All my friends, people around me, all know it, right? If I set out to do something, I'm not going to give up. But in that striving to perform something, I lost that peace. So when I found it back in venturing into doing this certification for high performance coaching, I found my tribe in the coaching program. People who are like me. People who speak like me. People who resonate with what I believe in. People who do the same stuff that I do at that higher level. I found that voice for myself. And that is when I discovered, hey, I think this is something that I'm meant to do next. Right? This is the person that I'm becoming.
It is very important in discovering or finding that peace and doing that peace is to recognize that this is what you actually enjoy and meant to do.
So peace for me, if I could describe it, is really alignment with myself, with my values, with what I believe in. Like doing the thing that gives me the greatest joy. I don't know, is that how you would define peace? But if I were to describe that whole process, it's just realigning myself to who I truly am and who I'm becoming.
Yeah. You can say that. I would not disagree with that. Peace is really a constant realigning of who you're becoming. Because now you're where you are. You cannot take away what you have done in the last 5 years. Otherwise you will not get here. But where you are now and what you are striving to be or becoming. It's what you are at peace pursuing now. The person you're becoming. 5 years from now, maybe 3 years from now, that's not it anymore. To be able to keep realigning yourself to become really better, a better human in who you are as a person, that to me is the pursuit of inner peace.
So for someone who is in that hustle culture, right,
Yeah.
is in that society where everybody else is high performing, you are expected to perform, you are expected to create success for your family, your spouse depend on you, your kids depend on you, like, and they've lost that peace. What would be your advice for them
Yep.
to get started in finding that peace again?
Yeah. I think by the time you are hearing our conversation up till now, it almost feels like high performance is like a bad thing. I want you to know it is not.
It is not.
The pursuit of greatness, it's a core intrinsic value on the inside of every human being, right? Ask any child, they aspire to greatness
Yep.
in life.
Yeah,
My advice.
last night, so funny. We asked our 9-year-old before bedtime to ask him, what type of girl do you like? Do you like the pretty type, or do you want the good character type? He said, I want a smart one. I want a smart person. I think there's that intrinsic drive in us for excellence, to live well, right? So there was a
To marry
joke.
well.
Yeah, to
For
marry
him is
well.
to marry well.
Even at that young age, he knew
Yeah, of course.
excellence.
Yeah. So being high performing, it's not wrong. It's not evil. It's not in any way inhuman, right? But my advice would be to always be able to come to a place you're aware that you're not losing yourselves while trying to provide for your family, to impress even your family. We all do at some point. I want to show you that I'm not a loser pot. I want to make sure that you can enjoy the little bit of life that I can provide for you. But there's a cost. At what cost am I going to do that to the point that I'm no longer in tune with myself? I hate myself. I can earn so much money that I don't come home. But there must be that state of equilibrium between fulfillment at home and provision for the family. If I earn this much, but my time at home is this much, it's not going to work, isn't it? Like, it has to maybe, this one come down a bit, and so that this one I think the whole pursuing and becoming in life is to really constantly align to that point. Because just so often we hear like people say, work will never finish.
Yeah.
You will never finish your work. You will never earn all the money in the world. It's true. We all know that. But why are we not doing that? Because we are not determined enough that, spending time with our children is equally of as high value as earning another 100,000, 500,000, 1 million, 2 million. I don't know what's that. So the inner peace is to align those values together.
So I guess a good start for even a young person in their 20s, because they might not be even thinking like they're losing themselves, they're just striving. A good place to start is to define their values
Yep.
and their purpose.
Yep.
And it's the hardest homework that all my coaches have to do.
Yep.
They always struggle with it. What do you mean values?
Is it called coaches?
Yeah, I think so. Mentees.
Mentor?
Mentee.
I never use those terms.
Every time I ask them to do a values homework, they struggle because it forces them to really think what really matters. And that would link to their purpose, right?
Yep.
In what they want to do. So when someone loses themselves, they lose their purpose. So this defining the purpose at every season of your life, I think is an ongoing journey that you don't do it once.
I think it's refining the purpose rather than defining.
Refining. the purpose
at every stage.
stage. You get clearer and clearer and clearer. Like
Yep.
where I am today, the people I want to help. So for those of you listening to this episode, we hope you get the next step in finding that peace if you've lost it, or that sense of purpose.
By first asking yourself what truly matters
Yes.
for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you like this podcast episode, like, share, subscribe. And now we have next steps.
Yes, we have a
If
next
you
step.
would-
You are not just watching.
Yeah, if you would love to find out more about healthy living, excellent living, or managing yourself,
Slow living.
slow living, high performance living, managing success, wealth, family, personal life, and everything else.
Basically, you just don't want to be making money but losing yourself.
Yeah, or stuck in a rut.
Stuck in a rut.
DM us, or there's a link below
Yep.
this episode. You can click on the link and apply for a strategy call. This is something new we're launching. So
Yep.
if you would love to find out more, work with us, click on the link and apply for a strategy call.
And we look forward to chatting with you and see how we can collaborate and help. So, yep. Thanks for watching a brand new episode of
I'm
Slow.
so excited
Nice.
about this episode.
Love you, babe. See ya, guys. Bye.